Meantime, joining me now, former NYPD officer and former Secret Service agent Dan Bongino, and Bo Dietl, also a former NYPD detective and Fox News contributor. The war on police, gentlemen. Dan, let's start with you. Is it real or is it imagination?
You know, it's real because cops perceive it that way, Tom. If I get calls all the time from federal agents, law enforcement officers who feel like if they do their jobs, they're not going to be backed up. And they feel like, and this is important, they feel like the culture is shifted. They feel like everything is upside down. I had one of them say to me even today, he said, I don't remember when we became the bad guys. It's just, I think what offends them is the fact that the president constantly, as a leader with the most powerful microphone on earth, every time we have one of these controversial use of force incidents, instead of saying the responsible thing, he always defaults to some element of race or racism in the incident, whether he knows the facts or not. And it's really putting the police officers out there on high alert that they're going to be accused of the most vile of things, and that's racism, whether it exists or not. So, Bo, how does this affect police officers going to work tonight? Are they going to back off?
You know, I talk to cops everywhere I go. I walk over to cops. I talk to them all over New York here. You know, with this whole thing, first off, we have to give my deepest prayers and sympathy to those families of those officers. And we remember last night, I remember very vividly, those cops were running into the shooting. They weren't running away. They were trying to take people out of there. This now is a syndrome that's going across the country where when cops get involved in something, right away there's a cell phone camera. No matter if you're making and effecting a proper arrest, they're going to show you on a cell phone camera. It doesn't look too proper. I don't know if you've been an officer, and Dan, how hard it is to arrest somebody sometimes when they don't want to be arrested. And if they take a video camera, if they had it in my day, I probably wouldn't be sitting here today. But the idea is that cops now are a main form of defense for everyone. Give cops off 3 days, have no police in this country, and you'll see anarchy, and you'll see crime, murder, and everything else.
Yeah, at the same time, and Dan addressed this, because as long as there have been police that enforce laws and citizens, there's always been the, oh my gosh, there's a guy turning a red light on me in my mirror. I don't like that. There's always been this love-hate, I need you, but I don't want you to enforce my 10 over on the freeway.
Right, of course, Tom. I mean, anytime there's a power asymmetry, there's always going to be some element of distrust. Police have the power to take a life and arrest you. You know, and some element of questioning authority is healthy. But the way not to handle this, Tom, is not to be, say, the President of the United States or the far left, and to immediately jump to the worst possible scenario, given a list of 10 or 20 scenarios, the worst one, that this was racism and voluntary manslaughter or murder every time when they barely have the facts in front of them. That makes the distrust divide even worse between the cops and the community. And even worse, it makes the cops distrust some of the leaders in the community that are accusing them of this type of stuff preemptively without any of the facts on the table. That's what's leading to the problem.
And the problem is, as everybody knows, you don't have to be a police officer to know this. These are split-second decisions many, many times and sometimes things go bad. No question about it. But at the same time, I worry about whether or not police are going to really be aggressive in enforcing the law, because this is with cameras out there. I've seen it myself, Bo, where they look at all these people surrounded with cameras and they kind of
they in New York here, they love with the statistics. All of a sudden, gun arrested down. Yeah, because none of the cops are going out there searching the guys carrying the damn guns. And it aggravates me with these statistics and all this. And what happens now across this country, cops are not going to get involved. You know, it's better to be a fireman. Fireman comes when you have a fire. They're the heroes. The poor cops there, the only time you have an interaction is they give you a ticket, arresting you. So everyone hates the cops. And this has been a syndrome that's been there, but now it's just magnified. And with this leader, this president has divided this country up with the police on one side and all of a sudden black Americans on the other side, which is totally wrong, because America is not black, white, Hispanic. America is us.
Yeah, but this was about racism. I mean, the guy said, I want to kill white people and white officers, Dan.
Yeah, and again, where's the equal commensurate outrage You know, on the left, it's interesting that, you know, the president and the attorney general, any opportunity they have to demonize gun owners, whatever it may be, comparing Republicans to Iranian hardliners, yeah, that really happened. You know, they take that opportunity. But the minute you have a group out there, Black Lives Matter, and I'm perfectly willing to admit it's not all of them. There are some genuine people out there with genuine concerns. But, you know, the minute you have a group where a number of them call for the death of cops, chanting pigs in a blanket.
Yeah, what do we want? Dead cops. That was the chant.
Right.
Yeah.
A year and a half ago, Tom.
They default to defending them.
A year and a half ago, we had 2 New York City cops assassinated in their car because of what this mayor in New York City said and allowed them to shut down the road, shut down the bridges. What do we want? Dead cops. When do we want them now? Yeah. And then this punk came from Baltimore and assassinated these 2 cops, Tom. You know what? Honestly, my heart really goes out for every cop, and I say hello to every cop I see, whether it's in New York or Florida, anywhere. They have a tough job today.
Everybody should. Thank your police officer when you see him. I've got to run. Dan Bongino and Bo Dietl, both of you gentlemen, thank you so much.